I feel like I have said this statement at the start of every single one of my recent chapter reviews, but man, Berserk is tragic and beautiful, and this most recent chapter, chapter 369, is perhaps one of the darkest, saddest chapters in recent memory. The chapter opens up with Shirke trying to communicate with Guts. She says, "Guts, where are you? Please say something." But due to the tragedy which took place in the previous chapter, Guts is just speechless. We then turn to Puck, who finally notices, just like everybody else on the island, that the whole place is falling apart. And we see the rest of the characters attempt to get to a higher point on the island, before the whole place sinks. Guts is still distraught by everything, and he still cannot respond to Shirke. He tells himself, "I can't even land one blow." Even after all the years of sword fighting he had done, he is still angry and pissed off at himself for not being able to inflict any meaningful damage to Griffith. And we get what I think is the highlight page of this chapter. We see the struggler lean against his Dragon Slayer in complete distraught. He is just shattered. He cannot accept all the things which just took place. This is just a damn beautiful page. We really need to commend the new illustration team for being able to put together an amazing page like this. However, the earth beneath Guts starts to slowly crumble as well, but Guts doesn't seem to act on it. Even Skull Daddy seems to be surprised at the destruction. He calls it a calamity. We see nearly half the island submerged underwater, as a bunch of explosions and eruptions happen around the island. On the next page, Roderick is seen as he tries to navigate through the chaos. He somehow gets onto the ship in one piece, and he still has no idea what has happened. Being the complete Chad that he is, he doesn't simply run to safety. He immediately orders everybody on board to save the rest of the stranded people. We then get another beautifully tragic 2-page spread of the now half-submerged island of Alfhelm, as our favourite characters observe it, some with blank impressions, others in just complete shock. I can't recall the last event where so many of the characters seem so hopeless. Is this since the scene right before the eclipse, when the old band realised Griffith was unrecoverable? If you have any ideas, please write a comment below. We see a panorama of the remaining outskirts of Alfhelm, as people get washed up ashore and the chaos seems to slowly recede. Watching all this, Isidro simply says, "No way." However, the peer notice that Danan is slowly glowing up like a torch. Before he realizes it, Isma has also started to glow up. Danan simply says, "It's time. We cannot remain in the corporal world." As she slowly fades away, a bunch of the other inhabitants on the island also begin to glow up. In an extremely sad turn of events, Isma also begins to fade away, until she completely disappears. Damn, I feel so much for Isidro. We get another panorama on the island, as all the magical entities begin to also glow up, and slowly fade away like a mist. The destruction of the island is over now, but another tragedy has just taken its place. Everyone is just dazed at what just occurred. And in the final few panels, we go back to Guts. The fabric on the end of his Dragon Slayer is slowly flapping in the wind. Thankfully, he didn't get stuck under the rubble or anything. We see a medium close-up of the side of his face. We don't see his mouth, but to me, he appears here to be more angry than he is sad. In the sky, we see something which looks like a contrail. It's most likely Zod as he carries Griffith and Casca to Falconia. And this is where this beautifully tragic chapter ends. A question I have is, what happened to Danan and the rest of the Alfhelm inhabitants? My guess is that they aren't straight up dead, because Danan did specifically say that they cannot remain in the corporal world. So my guess is that they are now in the astral realm, away from the physical world. And this connects to another question. What's happened to Puck, Evalera, and Shirke? We don't actually see the three of them disappear, but it's very plausible that they did fade away off screen. And this further leads to the question, what will Guts' reaction be if Puck and Shirke had disappeared? Shirke has obviously been an integral part of the whole team, and we can easily say that Guts wouldn't have survived without her magical assistance. So what's going to happen now if she's gone? Will Fani somehow try and take her role? I think that can be an interesting potential direction for the story to go towards. A lot of fans have said that Fani has become redundant and that she doesn't play a large role in the story anymore. But here's one way she can become a vital figure for Guts again. I have the same question regarding Puck. Although I know that a lot of fans find him extremely annoying, he has literally been in the story since the very first chapter, and he played an important part towards Guts' development in his own way, and Guts himself recognizes this. If Casca, Puck and Shirkei really are gone, it means that 3 of the people who really prevented Guts from losing his sanity are no longer with him anymore. So what does this mean for Guts and the next phase of his journey? Is the Beast of Darkness going to take complete control over him? Additionally, if these characters are in fact still alive, another question is, what would it take for Guts and the crew to bring them back? Does it require some sort of power that only Griffith possesses? And thinking about it now, has Skull Knight disappeared as well? Let's certainly hope not. I don't think any of us thought that Guts will fall this low. Also, this means that Griffith has successfully merged the astral world with the physical world, in a way that all the heinous monsters have been brought into the corporal world, while all the good ones have disappeared. For the 100th time, fuck Griffith. Where are all the Griffith did nothing wrong people now? I think they've been silent for quite a while now. Hopefully some of these questions do get answered in the next chapter, which will be released on the 14th of October. This next chapter will also be the final installment of the Fantasia arc, which started way back in 2009, 13 years ago. I will end this video with a photo of my face after reading this chapter.